question. I'm looking at this. This has. Okay, I don't know why it says that. Good morning. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Hi,
Can you tell me your name?
Elena Deborah Albendor.
Mr. Alvador, you are here in 2021 MM 742 AO on 2 charges. You've been charged with information with the crime of exposure of sexual organs and resisting officer without violence. That is a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Was there an offer conveyed by the state of Florida to resolve her case today?
Yes, Your Honor. An adjudication, credit time served, and cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $222.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
Mr. Trevor, did you tell Madam Clerk your case you got?
No, I did, Your Honor.
All right, can you just,
I did, I'm sorry. But
all right, after we are done with these arraignments, we'll deal with Mr. Trevor. That's fine. Yep, can you cover your nose, ma'am? Thank you. I forgot. I need to state in the public defense with the name on the record. I rushed in here.
Taylor May on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Ms. George and Mr. Thompson.
Letitia George on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender. Your Honor, in this case, do you have any objection to a ROR? We want to get our client evaluated.
I don't know if she
Downtown.
qualifies. I only have a face sheet. And nor does this, you guys didn't file a bond motion, so. I don't have enough information for your client to answer your question. If you want to come back tomorrow or something like that, then file a bond motion, give the state an opportunity to be heard, and the victim in this case.
Her back tomorrow, if that's possible.
What, are you gonna file a bond motion or something like that tomorrow, or? I mean, like, I'm asking, like, I'll reset our arraignment.
Your Honor,
Well, let your attorneys work for you, and we can.
I'd like.
Okay, Your Honor, we're going to accept the state's offer and enter plea of not guilty. I mean, enter plea of no contest, sorry.
All right. Ms. Alvador, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you put your hand down. Ma'am, you're here in 2021 MM 742 AO on a charge of, charged with information by 2 counts. The first one is exposure of sexual organs. The second one is resisting officer without violence. Both of those are first-degree misdemeanors. Both of those are punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine each. Your attorney is telling me that you want to enter a plea of no contest to resolve this case today. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, and I'll set you for your future court dates on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Guilty, Your Honor. I was confused for a second.
All right. You want to resolve your case today?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
No
You understand that you're entering a plea of no contest to resolve your case today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. By entering a plea of no contest in this case, you're given a right to have a trial in this matter, where the state will have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're given a right to have the public defender's office represent you at that trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
At that trial, you can challenge the state's evidence. You can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If there was a witness you wanted to call and that witness did not want to come to court, the court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're waiving your right to remain silent as to these charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're waiving your right to have appeal any errors in this case except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose.
Sorry if I said yes, sir, and I was supposed to say yes, Your Honor. I apologize. Please forgive me. I've just been going through hell really lately.
No, that's fine. I had to go over your rights with you. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. God bless you.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, no, Your Honor.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
What was that mental, you said no or yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
What was that mental health illness?
Bipolar.
Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your bipolar depression right now?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that, at least in count one of this information, that if you are later sent to prison and you are convicted of a sexually motivated, sexually violent offense, that offense can qualify you for what they call the Jimmy Rice Act. You can be committed for the rest of your life civilly in a civil commitment facility.
Yes, Your Honor.
You all stipulate to a factual basis as to this case? Parties?
Yes, Your Honor, for the purposes of the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept that stipulation in this case. I will enter a plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest in this matter. Find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the 38 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 38 days credit time
Thank you,
served.
Your Honor. God bless you.
There's a court cost of prosecution of $273. There's a $50 public defender application fee and $50 public defender lien. There's a cost of investigation of $222 to the Orlando Police Department in this case. I'll combine all those costs for payment. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to make that payment directly to the clerk in full. You have 30
No
days
problem,
from
thank you,
today's
Honor.
date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. You see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, have a
Thank
great
you
day,
so
ma'am.
much, very much. God bless you. God bless your heart. I pray you have a very beautiful, blessed New Year and everything else.
Have a great day, ma'am. All right. Trevor Dolan.
I'll be happy to sentence, just like you said, but I'll tell you right now, that's just.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
Trevor Dolan.
Mr. Dolan, you're here in 2020 MM 8936AO on you're charged by information in 2 counts. The first one is visiting officer without violence, and the second count is possession of drug paraphernalia. Both of those are first-degree misdemeanors. Both of those are punished by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine each. Ms. George, you want to enter a plea on behalf of your client? Or is that an offer extended?
Yes, sir. The offer was a withhold credit time served.
Okay, so
Yes, Your Honor.
you were on probation and then
Have a
you
moment.
got violated because you tested positive for some controlled substance.
All right, I took the bench like at 11:30.
Have you had time to talk with a lawyer about?
Your Honor, we're going to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of not guilty. Enter a plea of no contest.
All right, sir, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2020 MM 8936AO on a charge of resisting officer without violence and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charge? Both of those are first-degree misdemeanors. Both of those are punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine each. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
According to your attorney, you want to enter a plea of no contest to resolve your case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're giving up certain constitutional rights.
Yes, sir.
You understand one of those rights, you're giving up the right to have a trial where the state had to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
You understand you give up the right to have an attorney appointed, or have Ms. George represent you at that trial.
Yes, sir.
At that trial, your attorney can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If there's a witness you wanted to call and that witness does not want to come to court, the court can use subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're waiving your right to remain silent as to these charges.
Yes, sir.
You understand you are waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose.
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes, sir.
What is that mental health illness?
I have bipolar and schizophrenia.
All right. Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your bipolar depression or schizophrenia?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes, sir.
Did the party stipulate to a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor, for the purposes of the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that factual basis. Court, I will accept your plea of no contest in this matter, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 82 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 82 days credit time served. The court costs, the cost of prosecution in this case are $273. There's a $50 public defender application fee and a $50 public defender lien. I'll make those costs payable directly to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir, so much. Thank you, guys.
All right, sir, who's your client?
Lipko, Your Honor, LIPKO.
Where is it? After, Thomas Willie, okay, here we go. All right, and your client? Ms. Garcia? Who's your client? Joseph Martin. Joseph Martin's your client? Okay, we'll do him in a second after that.
Thank you.
Sir, tell me your name.
Mark Lipko.
Mr. Lipko, you are here in 2021 CF 2759AO on a charge of felony battery. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, put your hand down. That's fine. You don't have to. So some people just stand here and talk to me like this. It looks just kind of awkward. All right, ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Karen Lipko.
All right, can you tell me how you know Mr. Lipko?
He's my husband.
All right, are you afraid of your husband, ma'am?
Absolutely not.
Do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
I mean, it has, but yeah.
All right. And if something like were to happen like this again, would you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Absolutely.
All right. Say, do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly. Ma'am, were drugs and alcohol, do they play any part in this altercation?
We were drinking, yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the term Ms. Lipko, are you familiar with the term no hostile contact?
I am.
For the record, can you explain to the court your definition of no hostile contact?
Just no arguing, and if we argue, either I'm going to walk away or he is.
And if that doesn't happen, ma'am?
I'm going to call law enforcement.
All right. I give everybody my definition of no hostile contact because it's pretty broad and encompasses, and I think it's a little bit more helpful. All right, Mr. Lipko, I'm going to, yes, sir.
At this time, wish to petition the court if I know probable cause.
That he bid her in
If
favor.
I may, Judge, first I'd like to I'd like to be heard, Your Honor, if I may.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, first I'd like to take judicial notice of the fact that the city of Daytona Beach, Florida is encompassed entirely in the county of Volusia.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but
Ms.
it's,
Lipko,
okay.
Your Honor, I ask the court to take judicial notice that the city of Daytona Beach is encompassed in the county of Volusia.
Right.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we find no PC and that there is a failure to establish venue within the jurisdiction of this court, and the fact that they were coming from the county of Volusia, we don't know where these events occurred. At this time, I ask the court to ROR Mr. Lipko, and the alternative, I'd ask for ROR with the conditions of no hostile contact, no alcohol.
All right, as to, I'm guessing you're raising a jurisdictional question as to when the biting happened. On what part of I-4? Was it inside of Volusia County or where they had entered Orange County? I'm going to say that it did. I mean, because they weren't stopped in Volusia County, they stopped here in Home. So that was a question you can bring up as a cross-jurisdictional matter, maybe statewide or something like that can bring it up. But whether the crime occurred in this jurisdiction, the court's going to find probable cause that, like for the charge of felony battery, I'm going to set his bond in the amount of $2,500. Addition of his bonds that he have no hostile contact with the victim. So, Mr. Lipko, no hostile contact, I'll give you my definition. You can have arguments with your wife. You can argue with her. She can yell at you about leaving the toilet seat up, about what you're going to have for dinner, that somebody didn't pick up a mess or clean up behind themselves. Those are arguments that you can have. They're normal arguments that you can have with your wife. Those arguments cannot turn threatening. They cannot turn violent. They cannot come to the point where either she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees that you guys arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, that means you're going to be arrested. That means you're going to spend time here with me at the Orange County Jail. I'm going to make a condition that you possess no drugs or alcohol during the course of your release in this case. You be sent on to random drug and alcohol testing. I'll give you 30 days for any narcotics that may be in your system as a grace period, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor,
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
this was the only matter I had before this court. Now that we've concluded this, with your permission, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
Always good to see you, Judge.
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
All right.
Oh, I don't know if I said this, Judge, but ask the court to take an oral attendance notice of appearance in this case, and I'll file one with writing
That's
by the end of the day.
Thank you, sir. You're here, you're not calling, so it's a lot easier. All right, can sir tell me your name?
Joseph Martin, sir.
David Bigney on behalf of Joseph Martin. Your Honor, I'd like to address probable cause after you've had a chance to review.
All right, shoot. Oh, I'm sorry, let's put the name case on the record. 2021 MM 1637AO.
May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, a couple of things as it relates to probable cause. First of all, this entire incident happened at Mr. Martin's house. Mr. Martin was home. The alleged victim was an uninvited person, came to the door, rang the doorbell. Mr. Martin just happened to be the person that opened the door. The only thing that happened there was a punch in the face from the alleged victim to Mr. Martin. The police were called. Mr. Martin is well aware that he has a no-contact order. He called the police, sort of a CYA, just in case anything came up. He was advised to record certain things, to call them back if she shows up again. She did show up again, and then she showed up a third time. All of this was documented by calls from Mr. Martin to law enforcement. There was there's an allegation of some communication through Skype while there. Mr. Martin has blocked the alleged victim on all his social media accounts, blocked her number from calling. What happens is the alleged victim uses creates new accounts to try and get in touch with Mr. Martin. In the probable cause affidavit, in that Skype, the police mentioned that he actually says that he cannot communicate with her. He does try to cut her off, but apparently, without anything to elaborate, say, well, he didn't say enough. But to me, saying that he cannot have contact with her is enough. I'm not sure what else they're looking for. There has been repeated efforts on behalf of the alleged victim to try and contact Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin has been very, very diligent in doing what he needs to do to obey the laws. Again, this is entirely at his house, and she is uninvited, and she kept on coming back 3 times, and law enforcement was called repeatedly.
All right. All right, Mr. Bigney. As you know, that we are here at initial appearances. Only evidence I have is before me is a charging affidavit. And I feel for Mr. Martin. And I give the speech all the time that, even when she contacts you, don't respond, don't communicate, don't do anything, because, that's going to be considered contact. So based on that, the court does find probable cause for the allegations of violation of domestic violence injunction, of a no contact order. And I'm going to set your bond in this matter in the amount of $1,000. Condition of bonds, you have no contact with the victim.
You could say that.
And we can show the evidence.
Hold on
that
one
was
second,
not the
Joseph.
contract with the-
Joseph, hold on a second.
All right. But the problem also is I did sign a warrant for a violation of his probation based on discharging affidavit in 2020 MM 298AO. And I said it's bonded none on that warrant.
Your Honor, and I understand the court's rule, but I just want to make sure I get this out. This is not one of those things where it's a phone call or you bump into somebody. The alleged victim came to him, that's undisputed, and he told her to go away. So
No, like I said, it's not the strength of the case. My job is to follow the law. So that's when they, as the case law has told me and what the legislature has said, like, that's why I give the warning. Even if she contacts you, like, you may have to take extreme steps. And sometimes it's like that. Mr. Martin, I'm not saying this is fair. So I think you're trying to, this is a court of equity. It's not. It's a court of law. So
Hold on.
so it's not saying it's fair. That's not a fair reading of the law. It's not a fair interpretation, but that's what they told me it says.
No, and again, and I understand, and I don't want to beat a dead horse. A couple of things that maybe I didn't make clear. If I did, then I apologize for, again, repeating. The police asked him if he wanted to file an injunction against her, if he wanted to file criminal charges against her, not the other way around. I think the case law suggests that if it's, despite who reaches out to whom, if the victim reaches out to the defendant has a responsibility to terminate that, and that would not be a violation. That's exactly what this report says that he did.
The problem is that, like, they are very vague, and they don't lay out a procedure to make that happen. So that's the courts need to do this. They need to lay out a procedure, or the legislature needs to lay out a procedure to help people in Mr. Martin's situation. But the problem is that they said they need to find a way to terminate the situation. What does that mean? Does that mean call the police? Does that mean move? Does that mean, I don't know. I mean, like, is there a time frame to make that happen? There are a lot of things that I wish they would fix, but that's one this is an area they need to address, but they haven't so far. So until they do, then I'm stuck with these very vague interpretations, and my job at this point is to make it as broad as we can as far as the probable cause determination at this point. So when you get to the front of Judge Shoemaker, you can have an evidentiary hearing, you can call the victim, you can, those things like that, go up for an actual bond hearing. But today, that's what's going to happen today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can get in front of Judge Shoemaker. He's available to make that happen as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Have the OP no bondman?
Yes.
I'm not taking any action on the felony case because I'm not sure that's not the same victim. That's a different situation. Well, it's related, but not the same, not having contact with the minor child. So I'm not taking any action on the 2020 CF case. All right. Have a great day, Mr. Bigney.
Ronald Walsh, mental health.
All right, this is 2021 MM 1644AO.
None.
I want to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Ronald Walsh.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
All right, I found probable cause based on the affidavit that I read in this case. I wanted to set his bond amount of $500, condition of the bond. They have no contact with the victim. No return to the scene of the location, no weapons, no firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. All right. Tell me your name, sir. Your name?
Keith Young.
Mr. Young, you're here in 2021 MM48AE on charge of pay theft of more than $100. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to stay your bond in the amount of $500. Condition of your bond is not return to the scene of the location, not have any contact with any victims or witnesses. I see, sir, that you're also on federal probation. I'm not sure the U.S. government is going to take you into custody before you leave the Orange County Jail, but just be aware of that. All right, have a great day, sir. This one. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Stephen Mark Haddon.
Mr. Haddon, you're here in 2021 MM 1011AW on a failure to appear warrant. The judge signed your warrant, sets your bond in an amount of $0. I'm going to ask the state, though, do they have an offer to resolve this case, the 2020 case, and the 2021 trespass case?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to the 20MM case, the offer is an adjudication credit time served. And in regards to the 21MM case, the offer is also an adjudication credit time served.
Mr. Hatton, do you want to resolve both cases that you have here with us in Orange County?
Yes.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Sir, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2020 MM 1011 AW on a charge of trespass other than a structured conveyance. That is a first-degree misdemeanor punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. I'm sorry, trespass in occupied structure. That's all still a first-degree misdemeanor punishable by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. You're also here in 2021 MM 579 AO on a charge of trespass on property after warning. That's also a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punished by 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine each. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve these two cases in front of the court today?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest in this case, you give the right to have a trial in this matter.
Yes.
You understand you give the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at a trial.
Correct.
At a trial, your attorney can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that? Okay.
Oui.
All right. You gotta, the mask makes it hard to speak, so you gotta, no, cover your face, but you gotta speak up. There you go. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Yes.
All right, I had the opportunity to review the charging affidavits in both of your cases. I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I'll accept your plea of no contest in both matters. Find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll start my sentencing in 2020 MM 1011 AW. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for the... Ms. Page, how many days do you have?
2 days, Your Honor.
2 days? 2 days in Orange, the 2020 MM 1011 AW, which probably have 4 days.
4 days in the 1-1.
Yeah, the 1011 AW, is it 4 days?
4 days.
All right, 4 days in Orange County Jail with 4 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in the case of $273. All right, then I'll go over to the 2021 MM 579 AO. I'll adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I'll give you credit for this, probably 2 days in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in the case of $273. I'll reduce both cases' cost of judgment. I'll give you you have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
All right, have a great day.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
Tiffany Stone.
Ms. Stone, you're here in 2021 MO 301 AO on 2 charges. The first one is being in a park after a prohibited hour and camping without a permit. The court did review the charge affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. And is the withhold adjudication of guilt court costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Stone, the city is going to offer you a withhold adjudication of guilt and court costs. You want to accept that offer?
Right.
Yes? All right.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Ma'am, you're here in 2021 MO 301 AO for a charge of being in a park after closing time and camping in a prohibited manner or a prohibited area. The court, those are both the second-degree misdemeanors. Both of those are punished by 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that by entering, you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest in this case?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you give up certain constitutional rights?
Right.
You understand you give up the right to have a trial where the city had to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Right.
You understand you give the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at the trial? Okay.
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Right.
I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest. Find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I accept your plea of no contest. And I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in the case are $223. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You got 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment, sentence, in writing. Have a great day, sir. Ma'am, sorry.
I understand.
Busy. Have a great day. Tell me your name, sir.
John E. Benitez Jr.
Mr. Benitez, you're here in 2020 CF 2767 AO on charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The judge signing your warrant has found probable cause for your arrest. Let me get to the warrant page. All right. At the judge's request, they want you screened for the mental health pretrial release program. So I will grant that request. I want him screened for mental health pretrial release first with the conditions of no contact with the victim, no possession of no weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. And no return to the scene of the location. If he doesn't qualify for a mental health pretrial release, then I'll set his bond in the amount of $2,500 with the same conditions. Appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. Ms. Page, you got, say that right?
You did.
Okay, make sure. I want to make sure there's no confusion later. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jonathan Espinette.
Mr. Espinette, you're here in 2018 CF 17922 AO for a violation of probation. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond. Set a bond, which is, we gotta look at that. All right. I want to set your bond amount of $0 because, as sir, you are a violent felony offender of special concern. You're not entitled to bond or bail until your case is resolved. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Nazarima Rabi.
Ms. Narabi, you are here in, I believe this is Osceola County.
Yes, sir.
Case 2020 CF 1217 AO for failure to appear warrant. The judge in that case set your bond at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in your case. If you don't think they're already appointed, well, I'll appoint them if they're not already appointed, and we'll get you down to Osceola County as soon as we can.
Okay, so Osceola County will come get me?
Yep, they should.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day. All right. Tell me your name, sir.
Sir,
Tell me your name.
Willie Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, you're here in an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County in 2000. I got the wrong case number. But Osceola County warrant for a charge, I believe, of felony battery. The judge signing your warrant sets your bond amount of $3,500. Additionally, your bonds, you have no contact with the victim, and you do not return to the scene, and you do not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You not hear me, or?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. You're on probation in 2019 CF 890 in Osceola County. Based on the probable cause determination that you have committed a new law offense while on probation, the court's going to find an on-view violation of your probation, going to set a bond at $0 in that case. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this matter and get you on to Osceola County as soon as possible. Have a great day, sir.
Am I at liberty to say anything?
I asked you to talk to Ms. George, who's your attorney now, from the public defender's office before you tell me anything, because everything you tell me is on the record.
I am.
Yes, ma'am. No action.
Spanish interpreter.
Interpreter cases. All right. On the which one? Out of county? Which one? On the for who? Oh yeah, it was robbery. No, yeah. Anybody?
Hello, Cisco Unity Connection Messaging System.
We gotta push the Spanish people to after 1. I mean, at 3. All right. 4. Portuguese. We can get them on language line to see if they're available. Or is it language line we're using for? We'll just do them all together. I'm doing Spanish, you just call. Right. Let's jump down to our felony domestic violence. I want to call Charles and, what is it? Not Charles. No. Yeah, who was like who was co-defendant in the first, somebody took my stuff apart, I see. Yep, Arias Garcia, that's right. You separated my stuff, man. I had them stuck together. Because they're co-defendants. They're victims in each other's cases. All right. And then I'll give you this now in Holder, the attorney for Holder. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Kendall Childers.
Mr. Childers, you're here in 2021 CF 2465 AO on 3 charges. It's aggravated assault with a firearm in count 1 and 2, and battery. All these are domestic violence in nature. The judge signed your warrant. It's already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $2,500. Count 2, $2,500. Count 1, $500. Condition of the bond is you have no contact with the victims in this case. You have no contact with any witnesses in this case. You maintain a separate residence from the victims in this case. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at those residences. Can you not hear me? All right, hold on. Where'd you lift off?
I can hear you now.
Hear me now? All right, so your bond in count 1 is $2,500. Count 2 is $2,500. Count 3 is $500. Condition of the bond, you have no contact with the victims in this case. You have any questions about a no contact order?
No, sir.
All right. You must maintain a separate residence from the victims. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you may have at those residences. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand?
Sir, what now, sir?
Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a great day. All right, ma'am, tell me your name.
Andrea Garcia.
Ms. Garcia, you're here in 2 matters. The first one is 2020 MM 1630 AO and 2021 CF 2765 AO. I've reviewed both charging affidavits. I found probable cause for your arrest in both cases. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Antasia.
Say it.
Antasia Alicia Arias.
Ms. Arias, you're here in 2021 MM 1629 AO on a charge of battery dating violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In your case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Ms. Garcia, could you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
I'm sorry?
Ms. Garcia, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell me how you know Ms. Arias?
I know her for a couple of months. She's my friend. And
Are you guys dating? Or
We wasn't dating. We was having, yeah, a relationship, but not dating.
Okay.
We never dated.
And do you want to have contact with her?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, I don't mind.
All right. Are you afraid of her?
I'm not afraid of her.
Has anything like this happened in the past between you two?
Never.
And do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement if this were to happen in the future?
Yes.
Did drugs or alcohol play a role during this incident?
Alcohol.
All right. Ms. Arias, could you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Right hand. The other right hand. There we go.
Sorry.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you know Ms. Garcia?
We've had relationships.
All right. And are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
Never.
If something were to happen like this in the future, will you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes.
All right. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to do this. And Ms. Garcia, in your case, I'm going to set your... She doesn't qualify for pretrial release? I was trying to figure out... Oh, she wasn't in her. Yeah, I think so. All right, man, I'm going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $250 in 2021 MM1630AO. And in 2021 CF 2765AO, I'm going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $500, count two $100. Both of your bonds and both of your cases will be supervised by pretrial release services. So you'll be subject to pretrial release supervision. Condition of your pretrial release supervision is you have no hostile contact with Ms. Arias. You understand that?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you right.
All right. You understand? You hear your bonds amounts. So 250. So in your bonds, in your cases, your misdemeanor case for battery, $250. And your introduction of contraband is $500. I said, and it's $100 as to the possession of cocaine. Okay. All your bonds, you'll be subject to pretrial release services. All right. There's supervision. Condition of that no hostile contact with Ms. Arias. So my definition of no hostile contact is this. You all can have arguments. You all can disagree. You all can fight about whatever you want to fight about. Those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where either Ms. Arias is going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, you're going to spend time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you a 30-day grace period for any narcotics testing, but alcohol testing will resume immediately. You also the possession of weapons of firearms, and weapons of firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right, Ms. Arias, I want to set your bond in your case in the amount of $250. It's going to come with trial release supervision. That you to have no hostile contact with Ms. Garcia. Do you understand my definition of no hostile contact?
No hostile contact, yes.
All right. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you a 30-day grace period for any narcotics testing, but the alcohol testing will happen immediately. Do you understand that?
Okay.
All right. So if you all can live at peace with each other, you won't have to worry about seeing me. But if you don't, you're going to see me again. You won't be walking out those doors. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All three. It's two cases. One felony case and one misdemeanor case. Come on back up. Did they call three separate reports? Okay. Yeah. All three. I thought that's silly. All right. Tell me your name, sir.
Brandon Holder.
So Holder, you're here in 2021 CF 2502 AO on charges of battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and aggravated assault with a firearm. It's a warrant case. The judge signing your warrant has already found probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count 1 in the amount of $5,000, count 2 in the amount of $2,500. Condition of your bond, you had no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about the no contact order, sir?
I don't think so, no.
All right, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
I have a paid attorney who
You have a paid attorney? Oh, sorry, this is the one who's
said
supposed
to
to call?
call him on video or something like that when I got
You're supposed to
here.
call, hold on, you want to call your attorney.
That's it?
Oh, no, we got somebody was supposed to call his attorney. I gave a sticky to. You ready? Hello. Hello, hello? Hello? Oh, let's try it again. Hello? I'm trying to get you on overhead here so you're on the record. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. I got you. Did we transfer him? Did you hit the transfer button?
I did hit the transfer button.
All right, I want to hang up.
Your Honor, last time for Judge Gibson, you just had to put it on speaker and put the mic down to the phone. They were having trouble with the
All right, this
transferring thing as well before.
It was working perfectly the other day. You were in here. Oh, wow. No, because he's on hold. I can see it flashing right there. All right, let's just put him on speaker. Oh, this is put on speaker. Just put him on speaker. Can you hear me? All right. So Mr. Holder's here. Give me his name on the record for your client.
Richard Hornsby for Mr. Holder.
Mr. Hornsby, you are here in 2021 CF 2502AO. I informed him of the charges he's facing: battery by strangulation, aggravated assault with a firearm. I was setting his bonds in count 1. Also, do you want to be heard as to anything you want to tell me before I set bond?
Judge, I heard you originally set the bond, I believe, at $5,000 and $2,500. I would like to point out for the court and ask the court to consider setting bond at $2,500 and $1,500 respectively. The victim has already filed a declination, which is in the file. She's also represented by an attorney, Carrie Rentz. In her declination, she invoked her Fifth Amendment. So the court knows, Mr. Holder surrendered himself voluntarily last night at my direction, so he doesn't pose a flight risk, nor is he trying to avoid this case. So I believe a $2,500 bond on count 1 and $1,500 bond on count 2 would be appropriate given all the circumstances.
I guess Madam Clerk is pulling up something. I don't have a declination. I don't have any victim input. I'm just noting for his record, looking at his criminal history, previous assaults, and an arrest for other violent crimes, raises the court's concern as to public safety, not as to whether he's going to flee. So, Mr. Hornsby, since I don't have any victim input, I want to state the bonds at $5,000 and $2,500. Same conditions: no contact, maintain separate residences, no weapons, no firearms. If that's so true, and the victim's testifying and They're gonna have a bond hearing later on, then you can get in front of the division judge and make that happen.
Okay, Judge, that's fine.
All right. All right, have a great day, Mr. Hornsby. Have a great day, Mr. Holder.
That was it.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
I'm Lee Jackson Jr.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2021 CF 2746AO on 1, 2, 3, 4 counts. The first one is battery by strangulation, domestic violence, tampering with a witness, battery, and assault on a law enforcement officer. The court did find probable cause as to your arrest as to those charges. I'm going to set your bond to count 1 in the amount of $5,000, count 2, set your bond at $1,500, count 3, $500, count 4, $500. Condition of your bonds, you had no contact with the victim. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're out on bond in 2020 MM 603AA. The court's going to revoke that bond. We'll set a new bond at $0. I'm appointing a public defender to represent you in all your cases. Have a great day, sir.
Okay, so I can't bond out?
You can bond out, but not as the old case, no.
Oh, but I already did 45 days time serving. I got court for on the 10th.
All right, then we'll see your judge on the 10th.
So they won't reschedule my court date, will
You can talk to Ms. George and your attorney about that case, that you can get an earlier date. Maybe we'll get a date this week.
Your Honor, I believe you was set for PTC in that case today. So it's probably going to be reset to a later date.
Yep, they can get you a Polycom, BRC hearing, do a whole bunch of stuff. We get you this week to resolve that case. All right, have a great day.
So I'll be in court by this week, court?
You gotta talk to your attorney, call your public defender in your case, and let them know you're here and you wanna resolve your case, and they'll get it done this week. But you're just not gonna can't sit there and wait for it to happen. Tell me your name, sir.
Christian Massonet, that's who?
Mr. Massonet, you're here in 2021 CF 2768AO on charge of false imprisonment, dating violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $2,000, conditioning your bond that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence.
Can I say something, please, sir?
No, let me finish. Let me finish, and then you can talk to your attorney, and we'll be done. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I forgot to say, you are subject to pretrial release service like supervision in this case. This way pretrial release service supervision. All right. Mr. Mesnet, you have any questions about the no contact order?
It's okay.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jason Lee Edgar.
Mr. Edgar, you're here in 2021 MM 1647AO. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest for domestic battery, domestic violence, and resisting officer without violence. I'm gonna Is it community contacts? That's why he didn't qualify? That's on, it's something in the community contacts. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in count one, $1,000, count two, $500, condition your bond that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim, that you do not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You have any questions about the no contact order? All right, have a great day, sir. Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
Janae Graves.
Ms. Graves, you're here in 2021 MM1625AO on a charge of battery dating violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in count one in the amount of $250. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision that you have no contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days for any grace period for any narcotics that may be in your system, but alcohol testing will resume immediately. Do you understand? Okay. You have any questions about the no contact order?
No, sir.
All right, appoint the public defender to represent you. Have a great day. All right, man, tell me your name.
Violetta Guthrie.
Ms. Guthrie, you're here in 2021 MM1624AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charge affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth. Sir, can you raise your right hand this morning? Can you tell me your name first?
Jeffrey Kinge.
Can you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matters the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Ms. Guthrie?
We met about a year ago in New York, and we started dating.
All right.
As much as you can date with the virus.
Yeah. Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes, I do.
Are you afraid of her?
No, I'm not.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No, it hasn't.
If something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes, I do.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, not extensively, no. We had a few drinks, but we've done that before.
All right. You have any questions?
No, you're on.
I would just like to say one more thing. We came here basically because we've been seeing each other for about a year. And we were supposed to have a nice night together. She has a son, so we don't spend much time, just me and her. It's the first time we ever actually went out to spend the night together. But things went wrong from the start. There were just these little things, and we didn't handle them properly like adults. It's really a misunderstanding that got out of hand.
In the case, but my determination is I have certain legal things I need to do. So the questions I ask you are related to those legal things. Obviously, things went bad because she's here and you're in there.
Yeah.
So I don't need an explanation for that.
Oh, okay. Well.
So, ma'am, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. It's going to condition your pretrial release supervision that you have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. No hostile contact means this. You all can have arguments. You all going to have disagreements. You all can fight about various things that couples fight about. Those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where either somebody's going, like either the victim's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, that means you're going to be spending time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Have a great day. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Look at me. There you go. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Say it again.
Tell me your name.
Doherty Joseph.
Ms. Joseph, you're here in 2021 MM48AE on a charge of battery. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, sir. There you go. Look at me.
What you said?
As you look at me, firstly tell me your name.
Fritz Destina.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Raise your right hand and be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right, can you tell me how you know Miss Joseph?
I mean, she my girlfriend. Like,
all right. And do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No.
If something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yeah.
Did drugs and alcohol play a role in this incident?
No.
All right. All right, man, I'm going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Condition of your pretrial release that you have no hostile contact with the victim in this case. That you are to not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. So, ma'am, look at me for a second. What I mean by no hostile contact. You all can have disagreements. You can argue with him about not being supportive enough for the children that you have in common, or anything, those things, like kind of arguments that are natural in a relationship. Those arguments cannot turn violent. They cannot turn threatening. They cannot come to the point where either the victim is going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees you all arguing is going to call law enforcement. Because if that happens, that means you're going to be arrested and you're going to be spending time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, well, can I get a restraining order?
You can do whatever you want to do after you leave here, but you understand my restrictions
Yeah.
as to what I'm placing you, the restrictions I'm placing on you. Now, you go to family court and do whatever you need to do, child support, parenting plans, injunctions, that's all things that you can do. But right now, so make sure that you won't violate my orders and spend more time here, then you need to follow those directions. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hi. My dad.
All right, sir, tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Deepak Kumar.
Mr. Kumar, you're here in 2021, MM1646AO, on a charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Ma'am, can you tell me your name?
Sakshi Kumar.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Kumar?
He's my husband.
And do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
Not at all.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
No. No, sir.
If something like this were to happen in the future, do you feel comfortable contacting law enforcement?
Yes. And I just want to add here that
Let's get through these questions real quick. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
Alcohol.
All right. Say, you got any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. George?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kumar, I'm going to set your bond in this matter at the amount of $250. He's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You are to have no hostile contact with your wife.
Sir, can
No hostile contact means this. It means that you all can argue. You all can have disagreements. You can argue about all the various things that the couples argue about. Who's paying bills, what's to eat, not enough, the house isn't clean enough, all these things like that. Those arguments cannot turn threatening. They cannot turn violent. They cannot come to the point where either she's going to call law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all calls law enforcement, because that means that you're going to be arrested. That means you're going to spend time here with me at the Orange County Jail. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you a 30-day grace period for any narcotics testing, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. You understand? All right.
Sir, I just want to add that this is all like a major misunderstanding. My husband is a good guy. It was just the drinks. I did not call 911. It was just he was sloppy drunk. That's it.
Nobody
I
here
swear,
is nobody's saying that he's a not good guy or a bad guy. Nobody's here saying that.
I'm a feminist, sir. He's a bigger feminist than I am, and I can. It's just sad that and unfortunate that he has to go through something like this. Like my husband, we don't even yell at each other, like leave alone touching or whatever. So I don't know, sir. Like this man, this is a total misunderstanding, and I'm not making this up. Please, sir, like. It's very unfortunate that he has something like this. It's gonna ruin his future. Like we both have good jobs. We have good moral ethics. Nothing like this. I'm still shocked, like, why they got him arrested. The
Okay.
cops just told me that they wanted to go use my restroom. So I was like, okay, go ahead, use my restroom. I had no idea why they took him away.
Well, that all can be worked out later on. My job, what I need to do is set release conditions, and that's what I did. As long as he follows my orders and stays out of trouble until the case is resolved, he'll be fine. All right, have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Tell me your name, sir. Your name. Mr. St. Fuller, you're here in 2021 MM 1632 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I have a witness in the witness booth, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Tamara Jones.
Can you say your name?
Tamara Jones.
Ms. Jones, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you know Mr. St. Fuller?
We live together.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him?
No, I do not.
All right. Did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
No, they did not.
All right. So you got any questions for the witness?
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Yes.
When was the last time, would you say?
About a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago.
Okay. And if anything like this were to ever happen in the future, would you be comfortable calling 911?
Yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. I got a question to state about, my note said there was an injunction that he has from 2007. Is that not with this victim? She's shaking her head no, so.
You want me to double check it, Your Honor?
Yeah, I just want to.
Your Honor, all I'm currently showing is a pending 2021 injunction
Okay.
from Ms. Jones, but that's all I'm currently saying. I don't see the 2007 injunction.
All right, sir. Ms. Page, I'm going to make pretrial release part of his release. Only thing I see in here is that I don't have any notes to say why he doesn't qualify other than he's unable to reach emergency contact. Is unable to verify. Mr. St. Fuller. Mr. St. Fuller. All right, listen to me real quick.
Yes, Your
Do
Honor.
you have somewhere else you can stay?
No, I want the bond, and I will.
Yes or no?
No, I don't have a place to stay.
Okay.
The place is in my name.
All right. So, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,000. I guess she's not going to qualify for pretrial release because I don't have an address.
I'm gonna PTR.
All right. So I'll put him on. I'll say his bond at 500 then. With pretrial release supervision, that you had no contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about the no contact order, sir? I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Have a great day, ma'am.
on to Jeffrey Young, his behavior.
All right, this is 2021 MM 1635AO. And this is Mr. Jeffrey Young on appointed public defender to represent him.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor, we do have a victim here.
all right. I did review the charging affidavit for the charge of battery dated domestic violence. I did find probable cause for his arrest. Man, can you raise your right hand? Can you tell me your name first and tell me?
Christina Lay.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matters, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Young?
He's my boyfriend.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has anything like this happened in the past?
Like you were talking about with the hostile thing, arguing, yes, but anything like this, no.
Okay. And did drugs or alcohol play a role in this incident?
I was drunk.
Okay. All right. Say he was drinking or you were drinking?
Well, we both were.
Okay.
But I was very...
Okay. All right, I'm going to set his bond in this case amount of $500. He's going to come with pretrial release revision that he had to have no hostile contact with the victim. He has possessed no weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release.
Okay.
I'll allow him to return. You all live in Georgia?
Yeah.
I'll allow him to return to Georgia.
He is a truck driver, so he drives over the road also. Is that going to be a problem?
As long as I have no problem with him traveling for work, as long as he's communicating that with his pretrial release services officer.
Can I ask why he's not in here?
Apparently he was being disruptive and that's why he did not want to participate in this proceeding. He may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. He'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at his expense. I'll give him 30 days for any narcotics testing, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately.
Okay.
All right, ma'am, have a great day.
Thank you.
De La Rosa bonded, all right. All right. Good. Over to Walker.
No close to this.
All right, here we go. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Dennis Clayton Walker, sir.
Mr. Walker, you're here in 2021 CT 1350 and 2021 CT 1378 AO. On failure to appear warrants, the judge signing your warrant set your bond at $250 each. I'll state you have an offer to resolve his cases, or?
Yes, Your Honor. It's adjudication credit time served on both.
All right, Mr. Walker, you can resolve your cases today with adjudication of guilt credit time served. That's something you want to do?
Sure.
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you're here in 2021 CT 1350 AO on charges of no motor vehicle registration. And then you're also here in 2021 CT 1378 AO on charge of driver license suspended. Both of those are second-degree misdemeanors. Both of those are punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to plead guilty or no contest to resolve these two cases?
No contest.
No contest.
All right? Do you understand why entering pleas of no contest in this case, you give up the right to have a trial in this matter?
Yes, sir.
You know, you're saying you give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Sure.
You know, saying you give up the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at that trial.
Yes, sir.
At that trial, your attorney can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Sure.
If there's a witness you wanted to call and that witness did not want to come to court, the court can use subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You understand you waiving your right to remain silent?
Yes, sir.
You understand you waiving your right to appeal any errors in this case except the court's jurisdiction over you and the sentence I'm going to impose?
Yes, sir.
You understand that in the 2021 CT 1378 case, that the driver license suspended charge, that conviction at a later date can be used to enhance your sentencing up to a third-degree felony.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
If I get another one, they're just gonna make it 30 days?
Well, it's not that. It's if you are arrested for a third or subsequent offense, depending on your criminal history, which I think you probably qualify because you have a violent, enforceable felony in your past, that you could be subject to what they call driver's license suspended with two prior convictions, which is a third-degree felony.
Okay, so this will be my first one?
I don't have your driving record, so I'm not sure. This is Walker. Walker. Yeah, I didn't look you up on. I looked up your case. I didn't have time to look up on David, so I didn't pull your driving record.
Your Honor, I'm seeing at least one in orange, 20 CT 2730. It was a withhold on a Dwellis.
Yeah, so if you get two more, sounds like you get one more, it's a first-degree misdemeanor. Two more is a felony, all right? All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No, sir.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No, sir.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
Sure.
All right, I did review your charging affidavits and your citations in these cases, so I did find a factual basis for your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty in 2021 CT 1350AO. I'll give you credit for the, somebody tell me this page. Somebody can tell me how many days he has credit? $4 days or so? Notice up here? There's a notice up here. All right, so 2 days in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in that case are $306, and I'll make that payable to the clerk within 1 year of today's date. In 2021 CT 1378AO, the court is going to adjudicate you guilty of that charge, give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail. The court cost in that case is $306, payable directly to the clerk within 2 years of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
See you. Not taking any action on this 2020 CF 11930 case. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Tell me your name.
Tony Clayton.
All right, Mr. Oh, what's your name?
Clayton.
Clayton?
Yeah.
I have some arraignments for Dunn.
Yeah, yes.
It's done.
You said Clayton, right?
Clayton, yeah, because I had came in under a different name, so they booked me under the other name.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody want to look into that?
They had ended up changing some of my paperwork last time.
All right. Well, that's up to the state of Florida. They need to fix that. All right. Well, sir, you're here for arraignment in two matters. The first one is 2021 CT 245AE on a charge of driving under influence. That's punishable up to 180 days in the county jail and $80,000 fine. You're also here in 2021 CT 246AE on a charge of driver's license suspended. That's a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Did you all discuss an offer for Mr. Clayton or Dunn, a.k.a. Dunn?
No, Your Honor. We're going to enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. I'll accept your plea of not guilty. Section for Division 83.
Pretrial conference date will be May 12th, 1 p.m., courtroom 6C.
All right. All right, have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
All right, now I had cuts.
Who named next, Your Honor?
Say again? I had cuts for arraignment.
He's medical, Your Honor.
All right. This is public defender client in 2021 MM 782AO.
We're going to waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
All right.
Division 85, he's previously set for a motion to dismiss for April 1st at 2:30 p.m.
All right. This is Ms. Torres. All right. All right, tell me your name, ma'am.
Marilyn Huertas Torres.
Ms. Horta Torres, you're here in 2021 MM1145AO on a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. The public defender client.
Your Honor, the state already filed a no pros, but the state will announce a no pros in court.
All right, this case has been dismissed against you. Have a great day, ma'am. All right, I have Lindor.
He's medical, Your Honor.
All right, 2021 MM1179AO, public defender client.
We're going to waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 85.
Pretrial conference date will be April 5th at 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
I had Nicholas, 2021 MM473AO.
He's medical, Your Honor.
Public defender client.
We'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
All right, Division 85 again.
April 5th, 9 a.m., courtroom 4A.
Roberts, 2021 MM1016AO.
He's medical.
Another public defender client.
We'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
Division 83.
May 12th, 1 p.m., courtroom 6C.
This is Vera. 2021 MM972AO.
He's medical.
The public defender client.
We'll waive and enter a plea of not guilty.
It's Division 50, so I feel like you may have another case.
April 15th, 2 p.m., courtroom 7C.
All right. All right. So do you want to do the pleables and then jump and see if we can do the Spanish? All right, let's do the pleables. We'll do the pleables. Before we get to felony, we'll do the Spanish. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Jose Acevedo.
Okay. What's your name?
Jose Acevedo.
Mr. Acevedo, you're here in 2021 MM1640AO on a charge of petty theft. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, is there an offer to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor, withhold credit time served, no return.
Okay. All right, sir, the state of Florida is offering you a withhold adjudication of guilt credit time served. Is that an offer you want to take today?
How long is that?
What do you mean? I can't hear you.
How long it'll be?
How long is what?
What is it? I don't
It's a withhold of adjudication of guilt and it's credit time served. Do you want to take that offer?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter, the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Put your hand down. Sir, you're here for, in 2021, MM1640AO on charge of petty theft. That is a second-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand that? It's punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalties for the charge of petty theft?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case with me today?
I'm guilty.
Okay?
Guilty.
You understand by entering a plea of guilty because you've given up your right to have a trial where the state will have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand you give up the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at that trial. Do you understand that? You gotta answer out loud. I can't hear you.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Your attorney in that case can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If there's a witness you want to call and that witness does not want to come to court, the court can use a subpoena power to make that witness appear. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
What was that again?
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
At the time, yes.
All right. Well, right now.
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes.
What is that mental health illness?
Severe anxiety, major depression, and bipolar.
All right, are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your mental health illnesses right now?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your
No, no,
mental
no.
health illnesses right now?
No.
All right. Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
I don't understand what you're saying.
If you're not a United States citizen, entering of this plea could subject you to being deported from this country. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I am a citizen.
I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case. I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of guilty in this case, finding that your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I'll adjudicate you guilty of I'll withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court costs in this case are and cost of prosecution are $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment and sentence in writing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, sir. All right, can you tell me your name, sir?
Angel J. Ortiz, sir.
All right, Mr. Ortiz, this is 2021 MM1641AO on charge of battery. The court did review the charging affidavit in this case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this matter in an amount of $1,500. Condition of your bond is you have no contact with the victim. That you are to not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are not to return to the scene of the location. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Appointed public defender. 1,500. Yeah. Have a great day, sir. You tell me your name, sir?
Daniel Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you're here in 2021 MM1631AO on a charge of trespass on property after warning. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, do you have an offer for this case and the other trespass case he has in 2021 MM571AO?
Yes, Your Honor. For this case, a withhold credit time served, no return. The other case is a trespass in the same location from an arrest on January 24th, and it hasn't been filed on. But
Thought I saw that it was filed on.
no, Your Honor.
Maybe not.
I didn't see it in my system. I can double check real fast. No, Your Honor. I'm showing that it's still not filed on.
All right.
So a withhold credit time served, no return for the incident case.
All right, Mr. Robinson, you want to resolve your case with a withhold adjudication of guilt court costs?
Yes, sir.
You raise your right hand and be sworn in. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, sir, you're here for 2021 MM1631AO. This charge of trespass on property after warning. That's a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that? Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
What's the difference?
Guilty is saying I did it. No contest is saying I necessarily don't agree with the facts, but I want to resolve my case.
No contest, yeah.
All right, you understand by entering a plea with no contest, entering a plea with no contest, you're waiving certain constitutional rights. You understand that one of those rights you're waiving is the right to have a trial where the state got to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
You understand you're waiving the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
Yes.
What's that mental health illness?
Schizophrenia?
Are you suffering from any of the symptoms of your schizophrenia right now?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
What was that?
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it'll subject you to deportation.
Right, yes.
All right, sir. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find a factual basis for the entering of plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is freely and voluntarily entered. I will withhold adjudication of guilt. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in the case of $273. I'll give you 1 year from today's date to pay that money directly to the clerk in full. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. Just recommend that you don't return to this location because they seem not to want you there. So we're gonna find a different place to rotate through. All right, I'm not taking any action on your on bond cases. Have a great day, sir.
I'll be leaving today?
Yeah, just as long as don't go back there.
Okay.
Don't possess any more drugs. Don't possess any drugs. Man, you'll be good.
Thank you, sir.
All right. This is, can you tell me your name?
Ryan Simpson.
All right, Mr. Simpson, you're here in 2021 MM 1648AO
Yes.
for a charge of attempted trespass in an occupied structure, which I'm confused about.
I believe the officer charged it wrong, because even in his affidavit, he just says trespass in an occupied structure.
Anybody know how it came out attempted on the charging affidavit? Because even the statute he wrote was for trespass in an occupied structure, not 777, whatever it is.
Mhm.
All right, so it seems to be a conflict between the statute he wrote and the charges on here, because attempts are under, I think it's 77.04, I think. All right. All right. I don't find probable cause for trespassing an occupied structure, because that's what the statute they wrote on there, not the title of the statute. All right, sir, well, you have an offer for Mr. Simpson?
Yes, Your Honor. Under the amended trespass occupied structure, the offer would be an adjudication, credit time served, and no return to the airport without a valid ticket.
All right, Mr. Simpson, you want to take that offer and adjudication of guilt credit time, sir?
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, sir, put your hand down. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM 1648AO on a charge of trespass in an occupied structure. That is a first-degree misdemeanor. It's punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your case today?
No contest.
You understand by entering a plea of no contest, you're waiving your right to have a trial on this matter.
Yes.
You understand you give the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at a trial.
Yes.
At a trial, your attorney can challenge the state's evidence. They can question the state's witnesses and call witnesses on your behalf.
Understood.
You understand that you're waiving your right to remain silent?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness?
No.
Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea?
No.
You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation. All right, sir, I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I do find a factual basis for the entering of your plea. I accept your plea of no contest, find your plea is free and voluntarily entered. I adjudicate you guilty of the charge. I give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. The court calls the cost of prosecution in this case of $273. I'll reduce those costs of judgment. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in writing. In order to not return to the place, but you've seen there already been orders to do that. But you got to find a different place to rotate through, man. Because they're just going to keep arresting you out there. All right. Have a great day. All right. Tell me your name, sir.
Cyrus Allen.
Mr. Allen, you're here in 2021 CO 320AO on charge of solicitation without a permit. Court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, do you have an offer for all these cases?
Yes, Your Honor. For the solicitation without a permit, it's a withhold credit time served. In regards to the 21 MM 17AW, it's a withhold credit time served, the 223 court costs and the $10 filing fee. because it's past IA for the city. And then for the 20 CT 6188, adjudication credit time served.
Mr. Allen, you want to resolve all your cases you have today?
I don't really understand what's going on too well.
Well, you have this case as a solicitation without a permit. You were previously arrested in 2021 MM17AW for another charge of solicitation without a permit. You have another charge in 2020 CT 6188AO on charge of driver license suspended. And I asked the state would they had an offer to resolve all your cases, so I don't have to keep you here for violating the court's order by committing a new law offense while being out on release.
As long as I get out
So-
today, I'll do it. I don't care.
All right.
Can I have a moment, Your Honor?
Yep. We fingerprinted our other driver license suspended guy, right?
Yep.
Another guy with a dual, we got his fingerprints.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. This is here.
I'm just signing order, so I didn't see any fingerprints up here in this stack that I have.
You're driving without a license? Yes, it is. I owed money.
Okay, Your Honor. We want to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest.
All right. All right, Mr. Allen, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. All right, sir, you're here in 2021 CO 320AO and in 2021 MM17AW. Both those are solicitation without a permit. They're both the second degree misdemeanors, punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. You're also here in 2020 CT 6188AO on charge of driver license suspended. That's also second degree misdemeanors, punishable up to 60 days in the county jail and a $500 fine. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest to resolve your cases with the court today?
No contest, Your Honor.
No contest.
We have just a moment, Your Honor, for the driving while license suspended.
I'm not sure if he has I don't remember seeing that he had a prior driver license suspended.
He has a prior.
I don't think so. I think it's some civil driver license suspended charges.
Right, that's, she's gonna.
I remember looking at his driving record this morning before I came to court. I don't know if this is a
I have a son.
bargain in
I
exchange.
really need to be able to drive for him.
Your Honor, you can do a withhold on all three cases.
All right. You understand my entering a plea of no contest in this case, that you give the right to have a trial where the state you have to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yeah.
You understand you give the right to have an attorney appointed to represent you at those trials?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, sir.
Have you now or in the past been diagnosed with a mental health illness? Has anybody forced, threatened, or coerced you to enter this plea? You understand by entering this plea, if you're not a United States citizen, it could subject you to deportation.
No. I'm not.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen? All right. I did review the court file in all your cases, and I did find a factual basis for the charges you're facing. I'll start my sentencing with 2021 CO 320AO. Withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for the 2 days that you spent in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit time served. I think the court costs in that case are $223. You also, in 2021 MM17AW, the court was going to withhold adjudication of guilt. I'll give you credit for that. I don't know how many days he has in that case. 4 days in Orange, in that case, with 4 days credit time served. The court costs and filing fee, I guess, are $223 plus a $10 filing fee. So $233. And in 2020 CT 6188AO, the court is going to withhold adjudication of guilt, give you credit for the 14 days that you spent in Orange County Jail with 14 days credit time served. The court costs in that case, the cost of prosecution are $301. I combine all these costs for payment. They'll be due directly to the clerk within 2 years of today's date. You have 30 days from today's date to appeal your judgment sentence in all your cases. All right, have a great day, sir.
I'm released today?
Yes, sir. Stay out of trouble. All right, let's see if we get an interpreter on the line.
Good afternoon. This is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today.
Good morning, Mr. Romero. This is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. I have about 4 cases I need your help with this morning. The defendant
Your
has
Honor.
his head. Yes, ma'am.
I
Can you hear me?
just realized my headset, it's not going to connect. If you
Okay.
want to, I can do it over the loudspeaker, but if you call back, we have another interpreter that can take over as well.
I was looking forward to talking to you today, but I'll call back.
Sorry about that.
No problem. All right, let's try it again. Hopefully, Ms. Romero doesn't answer the phone. Maybe I can see Mr. Figueroa.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Carlos Morales, State Certified Spanish
Morales.
Interpreter. Interpreter has been sworn in already today.
Hi, good morning. Good afternoon, Mr. Morales. This is Judge Bain calling from the BRC. I have about 4 defendants that I need your help with. If you can see if you can connect to the headset in my courtroom, that would be great.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll go ahead and attempt now.
Sí, sí lo escucho.
We're connected, Your Honor.
All right, sir, can you tell me your name?
José Bolaños.
José Bolaños.
José Bolaños. José Alberto Bolaños.
José Alberto Bolaños.
Mr. Bolaños, you're here in 2021's MM1639AO on the charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. You guys qualify, right? Yeah. So, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. Condition of your bond, your pretrial release supervision, that you do not have contact with the victim in this case, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you a 30-day grace period as to any narcotics testing, but the alcohol testing will resume immediately. Have a great day, sir.
Es todo. Well, I haven't taken anything today.
As I'm saying, so
Otra,
you may not possess any drugs or alcohol while you're out on release.
yo de mi dinero yo andaba dinero en la bolsa, de mi dinero yo puedo pagar los 250 hoy. Sí, yo traía dinero en la bolsa y ellos la tienen, pero yo quería pagar, autofiarme, pagar los 250.
Well, when I was booked, when I was brought in, I had my own money in my own case or bag, and they have it, so I can pay the bond if I can get to that money.
Well, you can discuss that with the personnel at the jail and PTR when you are ready to bond out. All right, have a great day.
Okay, gracias.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day. Sir, tell me your name.
Herman Daniel.
Germán Daniel.
Is it Herrera is your last name?
Herrera.
Herrera.
Herrera, all right. Sir, you're here in 2021 MM1645AO on charge of battery domestic violence. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. This should have been updated too. So he should qualify for two. He doesn't have any history. All right. All right, sir, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. Conditional your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are not allowed to, must maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location.
Sí, mi ropa, todo eso. Lo de la fianza, no lo tengo encima ahora, pero sí, porque tengo el número de teléfono para alguien que me la pague afuera. Por ahora no la tengo, pagar la fianza.
Well, yeah, like my clothes and my stuff. And
So you got one-time return with law
regarding the
enforcement to
bond, though,
retrieve.
I don't have the money on me, but I do have the phone number for someone on the outside who can pay it for me, but I don't have the money on me.
All right, those are all things you can address with the jail and getting somebody to bond you out, but you understand that no contact order.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so don't violate my orders. You can go back and retrieve your stuff with law enforcement. If you go there by yourself, you will be arrested, and you will be spending time here with me at the Orange County Jail. Do you understand that?
Okay, perfecto.
Okay, perfect.
All right, have a great day.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name, sir.
John Jairo Durango, su señoría.
John Jairo
Durango Pérez.
Durango Pérez.
Sí, señoría.
Mr. Perez, you're here in 2021 CF 2755AO on a charge of aggravated battery. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case in amount of $5,000. Condition your bond. Well, sorry, I set your bond in amount of $252,500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision, that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the location. You must not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Y su señoría, una pregunta, pero que yo no tengo tu dinero. Mi esposa ayer, el oficial de corrección me dio una fianza de 3.500 para pagar el 10%. So, mi señora llevó el dinero y no sé qué pasó, y porque yo no tengo otros dinero, su señoría. A ver si usted me puede ayudar. Con una
Well, the thing is, I don't have that much money. My wife did come by yesterday, and an officer, a corrections officer or someone, told her that the bond was $3,500 and that I could pay 10%. And my wife did bring the money, but I don't know what ended up happening. So I wanted to ask you, Your Honor, and see if I could get a lower bond.
I just lowered your bond to $2,500.
¿Y que tengo que pagar qué porcentaje o todo tengo que pagar todo eso, su señoría?
Do I have to pay the whole amount, Your Honor, or a percentage?
You can work through a bondsman, or you can pay the whole money, pay the whole amount. It's up to you. All right, have a great day, sir.
Su señoría, una preguntita más, disculpe. Yo tengo mi propiedad ahí. La persona con la que tuve el problema vive como a 2 bloques de donde yo vivo. So, yo lo que no quiero es que él esté alrededor mío, que él siempre va, pasa y tengo problemas con él. Yo soy una persona tranquila de hogar.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I apologize, but I do have one more question. I mean, I have my property, and the person that I have the issue with lives 2 blocks away, and what I don't want is for that person to be around me, and he's always coming by, and I end up having problems with this person. I'm a peaceful person, but I don't want to have problems with this person.
Well, you should take there are other actions you can take. I'm going to talk to your public defender about it. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, but I can't give you any legal advice. So have a great day, sir.
Oh, no, bueno, okay. Okay, gracias, señor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Morales. My last one is a Portuguese, unless you, you can assist me.
Unfortunately, no, not today. I'm sorry.
All right, have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye.
What you doing? I think it's you. Is it?
It might be. I don't know. It's my first time doing this.
No more.
So you're not putting them on hold before you transfer them, right?
I don't know. That's what I'm on.
No, I'm saying like when you transfer.
Huh?
So when you hit transfer,
Yeah.
we're talking to the person. You hit transfer, you dial a number, you hit transfer again, right? No, at the end, the second time.
I'm going by what's written over here on this wall. It didn't say that I hit transfer again.
Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Let's get.
Hit transfer?
Yeah. Dial a number. Right, and hit transfer. Transfer. Really? You hit transfer. Dial a number. Hello.
Hello? Allow interpreters online to help.
All right.
It's not complete on this feed.
All right, sir, can you put your name or ID number on the record?
216412.
All right, can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Certainly.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you're going to translate from Portuguese to English and English to Portuguese to the best of your ability?
I do.
All right. I have a defendant at the lectern. If you can ask him to tell me his name.
Olá, senhor, diz o seu nome.
My name is Aislan Lisboa Souza Viana.
Ivan Lisboa Silva Viana.
All right, Mrs. Souza Viviana, you're here in 2021 MM 1638AO. We're going to try to trespass after warning. That is I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. States that an offer you want to extend to, well, actually, actually, sir, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to this charge. Conditions that you do now.
Não, senhor, eu queria... Sorry, guy.
No, so tell him I'm going to release him on his own recognizance as to the charge. Conditions that he not return to the scene of the location of the incident.
Então nós iremos libertar, não é? De acordo com o seu conhecimento, o senhor não deve voltar ao local do incidente.
There will be a court date on your paperwork when you leave the jail. If you do not attend court on the date that is on your paperwork, the judge is going to send some people in some green uniforms to come arrest you. You understand that?
O senhor vai ter a data da audiência na corte no papel quando sair da prisão, não é? Se não for para a corte na data marcada, o juiz vai mandar o pessoal do uniforme verde para lhe prender, tá bem?
Como? Não entendi. Desculpa, repete, por favor.
Yeah, we have the echo on the line. Allow me to repeat the information.
Yes.
Sim, não, quando você sair, vai ter a data para aparecer na corte, da audiência, não é? No papel que eles vão lhe dar, quando for libertado. Compreendeu?
Sim, compreendi.
Mas se não aparecer na corte naquela data, o juiz vai mandar alguém do uniforme verde lhe prender.
Ok, mas aonde que seria essa corte? Porque eu me moro em New Jersey.
Yes, where will be the court? Because I live in New Jersey.
The court is downtown Orlando. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you. So if you could communicate with your attorney, you may not have to come. But if that doesn't happen, you have to return to Florida and show up at the court date.
Sim, a corte vai ser no centro de cidade em Orlando. Você deve ser apontar uma pessoa para lhe representar. Se você tem um advogado, talvez não apareça, mas se não tiver advogado, você deve retornar a Orlando a data da audiência.
Ok. E caso, então, posso arrumar um advogado para me representar, caso eu não venha.
So, if I can come, I can get a lawyer to represent me.
You already have a lawyer representing you. It's on that green sheet of paper. Call that number to speak with your attorney.
Você já tem um advogado a lhe representar, não é? Liga o número que está no papel para falar com o advogado.
Ok.
All right. Have a great day, sir.
Have a good...
Thank you, Mr.
Tenha
Interpreter.
um bom dia. You're welcome. Anything else I may help with?
No, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the services.
Madam Clerk ain't made no three-way calls when she was younger, I guess. You have a chat line? She know about the chat line?
Yeah, she know.
She know about that chat line? So chat line, you gotta get on the chat line, man. All this new technology out here, y'all forgot about the old stuff. All right, man, tell me your name.
Natasha Anderson.
What happened to Corey Alexander? All right, Corey Alexander's bonded. All right. Ms. Anderson, you are here in 2020 CF 6681AO on a charge, a failure to appear. The judge sets your bond amount of $2,500. Your bond remains as set. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, ma'am. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Romeo Ashley.
Mr. Ashley, you're here in 2021 CF 2756AO on a charge of grand theft motor vehicle. The court did review the charging affidavit. It did find probable cause for your arrest. It's going to release you on pretrial release in this case. Conditions that you have no contact with the victim or any witnesses. That you not return to the scene of the location. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, sir.
James Bennett, sir.
Mr. Bennett, you're here in 2021 CF 2757AO on a charge of trafficking in MDMA or ecstasy. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. Will stay your bond amount of $50,000, condition that you do not possess any drugs or alcohol by a valid prescription, have no contact with any witnesses in this case. You are on bond in 2021 CF 1462 and 2020 CF 1464. The court's going to revoke that bond, those bonds, set new bonds at $0. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in your cases. Have a great day, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
Ryan Dawson.
Mr. Dawson, you're here in 2021 CF 2762 AO on charge of possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. You were also arrested in 2021 CT 1795 AO on a charge of driver license suspended. I did review the charging affidavits. I did find probable cause for your arrest as to all those charges. All right, Mr. Dawson. I'm going to make an agreement with you. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance as to this case. You cannot possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you cannot operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. If you can stay out of trouble, you can stay out of custody. If you come get in trouble again, maybe stay here with me for a little while, all right? Have a great day. All right, tell me your name, sir. Tell me your name.
Tyler Dickens.
Mr. Dickens, you're here in 2021 CF 2760 AO on charge of carrying concealed firearm. Ms. Page, you got an order for me? Not for him? All right. Carrying concealed firearm. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to state your bonds in this case, in the amount of $2,500. Condition that you not possess any weapons or firearms cannot possess any weapons or firearms. And any weapons or firearms you need to have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are out on bond in 2020 CF 2699 AO for another charge of carrying a concealed firearm. Of course, going to revoke that bond, set a new bond, or bond in PTR, I think, or some version. PTR, it says. We'll revoke that PTR. We'll set a new bond. In that case, it's $0. We'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir.
Alderman is mental health.
All right, this is 2021 CF 2752 AO. Mr. Holland, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent him.
We'll waive, Your Honor.
All right, the court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for his arrest. Going to stay his bonds in his case at $2,500, $1,500, and $500. Condition of his bond had no contact with any victims or witnesses, may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. He is not allowed to return to the scene of the location. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Jonathan Harris.
Mr. Harris, you're here in two matters. The first one is 2020 MM 6419 AO and 2020 CF 3388 AO. For failure to appear warrants. The judge signed those warrants, sets your bond at $0. Your bond will remain at $0. We want to appoint a public defender to represent you in those cases. Have a great day, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me your name, sir?
State your name.
Ted Hayes. Mr. Hayes, you're here in 2021 CF 2753 AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $5,000. Condition of your bond is you not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have, you need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. May not have any contact with the victim in this case. May not return to the scene of the location. Have a great day, sir. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Hello, my name is Emily Holbrook.
Ms. Holbrook, you're here in 2021 CF 2741 AO on a charge of possession of methamphetamine. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. We'll set your bond in this case amount of $250. Condition of your bond is you're not possessing drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I'll give you 30 days for any narcotics testing, but all the drug, alcohol testing will resume immediately. Have a great day.
Can I ask you one thing, please?
Yeah, you talk to the public defender first. Appoint a public defender to represent you. Huh?
Your Honor, my client states she's already paid the $100 bond. Would you have any?
Well, I lowered her bond from $1,000 to $250.
Oh, he said you didn't. Lowered it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. She was under the misimpression that her bond was $100.
Well, the 10% was 1,000, and that's what she was thinking.
Mhm.
She paid the $100 on the 10%. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Deshaun Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2021 CF 2745AO on charge of battery on law enforcement officer, resisting officer with violence, resisting officer without violence, disorderly intoxication, and battery. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to state your bonds as set as 5,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Additionally,
On the disorderly intoxication, I had a PC challenge.
Okay.
Based on the four corners of the arrest affidavit, there's nothing to state that he was intoxicated.
All right, State, do you want 24 hours or you waiving it?
You would
I think it's
Just
PC
ask
for
for-
disorderly conduct, but disorderly intoxication is a lesser included offense of disorderly conduct.
Yeah, sure, you could just ROR on the.
All right, or you'll ask to count 1, 2, 3, count 4.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, could you say the bond one more time so I can write it for him?
It says on the affidavit, so it's 5,000, 2,000, 1,000 ROR, then 1,000. No contact with the victim. No return to the scene. No weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. No drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you.
Well, appointed public defender represent Mr. Johnson. All right, tell me your name, ma'am. Your name.
Stephanie Lawton.
Ms. Lawton, you're here in 2021 CF 2758AO on a charge of possession of methamphetamine and petty theft with one prior theft conviction and possession of drug paraphernalia. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set bond to count 1 amount of 1,000, 500, and I'll reduce count 3 to 100. Condition of your bond is you're not possessing drugs, alcohol without a valid prescription. You are out on bond in Seminole County. In the Seminole County case, your total bond in that case is $5,000. You'll post that bond and we'll get you on to Seminole County or bond here. You have a warrant out of Seminole County for the bond is $5,000 on the warrant.
Yes, sir.
Or the public defender represents you.
I didn't have a methamphetamine charge. I didn't get caught with any drugs.
The charges you're facing here is fentanyl and something else, right?
That fentanyl was in the cop.
Hold on.
Don't talk about the facts of the case.
Yeah. I think you have a meth charge in Seminole County. I think if I remember the charges, you have some kind, it's a drug charge in Seminole County. So there's no meth charge in the Orange County case. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Jeremy Lutz.
Mr. Lutz, you're here in 2021 CF 2751AO on a charge of fleeing attempt to elude law enforcement and driving license suspended. The court did review the charging affidavit in that case and found probable cause for both charges. I want to set your bond to count 1 amount of $3,500, count 2 $500. You may not operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You're out on bond in 2020 CF 13742AO. And in that case, the court's going to revoke that bond and will set a new bond at $0. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in your cases. Have a great day, sir.
So I can't bond out at all?
Not as to the old case, no. You got to get in front of the judge for a bond hearing.
Is the old case?
Yep.
So you revoked my bond on that case?
Yes, sir.
For what reason?
Because you picked up a new law offense in this case.
Kenny McIntyre, Your Honor.
All right, sir, tell me your name.
Excuse me?
Tell me your name.
Kenny McIntyre.
Mr. McIntyre, you're here in 2021 CF 2748AO on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The court did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. I want to set your bond, in this case, an amount of $5,000 in this case. Additionally, your bond is you had no contact with the victim, must not return to the scene of the location. You You must not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're out on bond in 2021 MM 2888 AO. The court's going to revoke that bond, going to set a new bond at $1,000. Condition that you had no contact with the victim. In that case, you not return to the scene. Have a great day. Important public defender represent you. Have a great day, sir. No contact with the victim and no return to the scene as to the criminal mischief case. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Tasha Shannon.
Mr. Shannon, you're here in 2021 CF 2749 AO on charge of burglary of a dwelling with assault of battery therein and battery. I did review the charging affidavit. In this case, I did find probable cause for your arrest. State, what are you asking me to do as to count one?
State would ask for no bond.
All right. On point of public defender to represent you, Ms. Shannon, Ms. George.
Your Honor, we reserve the right to have an Arthur hearing in the trial division.
All right. Ma'am, I'm not going to take away that right from you by finding proof evidence presumption great in this case, but allow you to have an Arthur hearing, but I want to stay your bond and count one amount of $0, count two an amount of $5,000. Conditioning your bond to have no contact with any victims or witnesses in this case. You may not return to the scene of the location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. Right. Have a great day, ma'am. Ma'am. I can't hear you. My watch is sending me home. All right.
The FAD was entered in error on this gentleman. He has a FAD.
Yeah. What was in that area? Yes. This case? Right. So that's what I'm saying. This 2021 CF case? Yeah, that's what's violating probation. No, I'm not taking any action on that. Oh, I wasn't doing that. We're good. Oh, I was super confused there. You got me concerned. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Levinsky Exilus.
Mr. Exilus, you're here in 2017 CF 7378 BO for a violation of probation. The judge signed your violation of probation warrant, set your bond amount of $2,500. Your bond will stay as set. I'm not taking any action on your 2021 case. All right. Thank you. I'll appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. All right, tell me your name, sir.
Hello, Scott.
Mr. Scott, you're here in 2018 CF 8459 AO on a violation of probation. The judge signed your warrant, set your bond at $0. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you. Have a great day, sir. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Hannah Matthew.
Is it Hannah your last name or Matthews? All right. All right, Mr. Hannah, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Osceola County for a failure to appear. The judge signing your warrant set your bond at $2,999. Your bond remain as set. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you.
Can I say something? I have a public.
You talk to the public defender, the same public defender's office. So you want to talk to the public defender in this courtroom, and then I can't change your warrant, but you can get in front of that judge down there in Osceola quickly.
Well, I have a public defender in Osceola already, and he said he.
It's the same office. So Bob Wesley is the public defender for the Orange and Osceola County.
Okay.
So they work for the same people.
Okay. Is there any way I can get an ROR? Or...
No, that's why I just told you. You're not listening. I cannot change your bond amounts on this capias. So you needed to work with your public defender, get in front of the judge in Osceola County so you can get that done. All right. Have a great day. All right. I had Kessie bonded.
Bonded.
All right. Now I have this Wilson.
Bonded.
Wilson bonded also.
Wilson bonded. All right. Does anybody have anything for the better of the order?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if maybe I just missed it. Amy De La Rosa. It looks like a traffic.
A what?
Amy De La Rosa. Bonded.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, that's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, this page.